else.
My deep ball, it has a little secret sauce to it, man.
Never get too high, never get too low, but just keep moving.
The whole story is Carlos never beat me in any kind of sports in high school.
Welcome to the Orange is the New Black podcast. I'm your host, Ace Boogie, joined by my co-host, Zim. Zim, say what's up.
Hello, world. How y'all doing tonight? Me and Ace were just talking, and we was just like, you know what? Let's just go live, bro. Let's just turn up. No rehearsal. We do this. We do this in our sleep. I don't know if these other shows are even built like us. We've been doing this for a while. Seasoned veterans in the game. We're gonna walk you through a mock draft. I'm gonna do a 10-man PPR. It starts in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm gonna show you some things that I do. Afterwards, we can commentate and kind of go through things that you guys would do. One thing that y'all going to see with my drafting style is I don't do variables. I don't do two-man operating systems from the running back positions. I only do focal points of people's offenses. So one thing we know about the Bengals is Jamar Chase is definitely the number one wide receiver taken. I consider him someone with low variables. Players like Tyler Boyd, Mixon, and Higgins and stuff, as much as I love them in real life and fantasy, you're going to see I kind of skew away certain players like that have equal distribution. And then you guys could tell me like what you think, and if there's errors in it. I'm gonna do one after that. I think Ace is going to do one too. Over the weekend, I did a bunch of them. So
Nah, that's facts. That's facts. So yeah, we're gonna check this out. We're in the mock draft room, courtesy of Yahoo Fantasy. Whether you play ESPN, Yahoo, it's all good. We're gonna be picking fourth on this one, so I'm gonna let Zim give you guys his picks. I myself haven't brushed up as much on the fantasy output, but I'll be on it for sure. But we're gonna let Zim run GM. This is similar to what we kind of did with the mock drafts in terms of the NFL draft. So we're going to switch it up for this episode and go ahead and go with this. But if you haven't checked out some of our recent interviews, please be sure to go back and listen to those. We had Luke Noel on. We've got the guys from PFF. We're in the middle of our PFF series. We just had Eric Eager on the last episode. We also had my man on the first episode as well. We got some special ones coming this week. We got some other things coming, so please be sure to stay tuned and support us. Please be sure to know, I know a lot of people think that this podcast is named the Orange is the New Black podcast in the Apple Store or wherever you get your podcast, but it's actually called the Cincy Jungle Podcast. And when you click inside of there, our episodes are on there and they start with OITNB. So if you haven't actually heard the audio formats of those, please be sure to join that. But we getting ready to get this draft started. It's loading up. We're gonna be picking fourth, bro, in a 10-man lead. Like,
and one thing I want to preface this with is I don't think this is going to change my strategy, but I use ESPN. Ace already had Yahoo already on his computer, so we're going to roll with that. I think from a strategy standpoint, I'm going to show you how to do it for like my style.
Yeah, it's definitely
I think it's going to get you some elite guys.
Yeah, so as this is loading up, just want to give a shout out to LFG Cincy for rocking with us. As you can also see, we're also wearing some Where I'm From shirts as well. So they just released the Joe Burrow line. So definitely be sure to check that out. Me and Zim have links, so please be sure to follow them on our social medias. And you can find him at Zim Hude on Twitter at Zim_Hude on Instagram. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at New Stripe City. So we getting ready to get into this draft, and already it's looking pretty good already with the actual picks that we'll be able to choose from. So it looks like we got Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, and Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley. Zim, what's going through your mind like right now? Like obviously it's getting ready to start, and this is where we kind of, when you pick fourth, it's almost like depending on what happens at 1 and 2, you can really get a good player at number 4. Who are some of the guys that you got your eye on right now?
All right, so if I go late in a draft, right, what I normally do is go get like Kelsey or somebody like that if I'm like 8-9 or Devontae Adams. That's what I do because I wish I could show you that scenario. But if I'm in 4-5, I'm always looking at Saquon, Kamara. Those are the two. Jonathan Taylor, new quarterback, a little bit, like I don't know, a little risky. I believe in Jonathan Taylor. Mind you, when I look at this whole fantasy draft, I'm looking at players' talent levels and my expectations. I'm also kind of following their board too, and I'm following past success. So this past season, I had really good success with Stephon Diggs, Kelsey, guys like Eckler, guys like Cam Akers have a lot of variables to me. Antonio Gibson is someone I think if he fell to me, I would look at him, but with him sharing carries or he doesn't get a lot of throwing opportunities because the Redskins last year gave a lot of those to McKissick. But I don't know if that's just because of Alex Smith doing a lot of checkdowns. So that's one thing. It's a bit of a variable to me. One thing I do know about the Saints is that they're going to lean on Alvin Kamara no matter what. I've been on our pod to always talk about like how special I think he is just as a player. So Kamara, Barkley are the two choices if I'm going number 4 no matter what. There's a PPR league, so I would never draft Derrick Henry. Dalvin Cook, I think his injury history is a concern. And then also you got to think the Justin Jefferson is now going to get a lot more target share. They're probably going to do a lot of more gadget type plays with him, and he's going to be a bigger focal point. And then at the same time, they got to give Thielen the ball. So for me, from a target perspective, I just don't believe in Dalvin Cook that early. If I would have had if I had the number 2 pick, I wouldn't have took Dalvin Cook or Derrick Henry. I would have went straight to Saquon Barkley because he's the focal point of the offense.
So the first 3 picks are off the board. We had Christian McCaffrey go first, Dalvin Cook go second. We got Derrick Henry that went third. So right now, Zim, who are you looking at? You got Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, Kamara. You said it was between Barkley and Kamara.
Give me Barkley.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and say Saquon Barkley.
You could say the argument of him coming off of an injury is very much relevant. I get that, but at the same time, he's the very focal point of the offense, and that's very key for whoever you pick. So that's why I led off the whole pod, and I was talking about Boyd, Higgins, all these different. The thing that makes them great with us, as far as Bengals goes, is that it's equal distribution, and I think Joe Burrow's just gonna give it to anybody that's open. That doesn't play well for fantasy football to me.
Right. Nah,
so
I'm with you.
So we're watching guys come off the board. By the time
Jonathan Taylor, Alvin Kamara,
what pick
Ezekiel Elliott, Nick Chubb, Tyreek Hill. So we're picking 17th. Right now we're about to end the first round. So right now the top player on the board that just got taken was Stephon Diggs. So we're about to come back around here.
So one thing I would look at, this is one strategy I look at. There are going to be tight ends that you're going to see like 5th and 6th round. Hawkinson, Kyle Pitts are guys that I really, really like to target. Sometimes when I get to a draft and I got a later pick, I'll take Kittle because you want a supreme target that you know is going to get a lot of target share. And I feel like Kyle Pitts is drastically undersold. So that's somebody I would queue up. I would queue up Hawkinson. I always queue up Lamar Jackson because in every PPR league, Lamar Jackson is always rated low. I'm going to tell you another guy that we're going to get in the 10th round no matter what. It's going to be Joe Burrow. I've done 40 mocks.
Ooh, somebody just took Joe Mixon 15.
I didn't want him.
So for those listening on the audio, Aaron Jones, I'll go ahead and
hold up, we got another pick here. Though. Hopkins or AJ Brown is who I'm going with. DK's now he's sharing with Lockett, not a believer in it. I do like Justin Jefferson. Hopkins, though, target share is just way too high to pass up. Give me DeAndre Hopkins.
All right, so we're gonna take DeAndre Hopkins.
And AJ Brown be doing work. That's somebody I really want, but I think Julio is gonna take some of that away from him. Not
so
really,
recap
though.
After Diggs for those listening is we had Aaron Jones, we had Travis Kelce go 12th, Devontae Adams went 13th, 14th was Austin Eckler, 15th was Joe Mixon, Cam Akers was 16th, and then we took DeAndre Hopkins at 17th, and then we followed that up, or they followed that up with Antonio Gibson, the Washington football team running back, went 18th. DK Metcalf just got taken, but this is going to be a short one because it's going to come right back to us at 24. So at 20, AJ Brown goes off of the board. I'm kind of surprised Metcalf went before AJ Brown, but with Julio being there, I mean, there's a potential there. Justin Jefferson just went off the board 21st. Then you got Calvin Ridley. So where are we looking at now? Mahomes right now is the top
Kelsey's
player on the
gone.
board.
Kelsey's gone,
There's
right?
Kittle.
Kittle's the all right.
Yeah, Kelsey
So,
went 12th.
so my round 3 targets are always Justin Jefferson if he can fall to me. Keenan Allen is always a guy I look at because of target share. Mixon, that's the only round I draft Mixon in. I have rules for all of this. Najee Harris is someone that I'll be looking at, but because he's so far down the list on Yahoo, I'm not even going to look at him. Allen Robinson is somebody I like to entertain too.
Pat Mahomes just went off the board.
The biggest sleeper in this round to me is Darren Waller. Is he even up on this list in Yahoo?
So he's not. He might be a little bit down. No, all right, he's not at the top.
All right, so we need a running back, and we need an elite one, at least one on your roster, right? One person I really
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
One person I believe in really a lot is Deandre Swift. He's the main running back. They have the worst. They have the worst wide receivers in the National Football League. He's going to get a lot of targets out the backfield from the receiver, like receiving out the backfield as a running back. Miles Sanders is cool, but the injury history kind of like makes me a little eerie. But the target share and the amount of the volume that Swift is going to get, he justifies the pick. I sometimes do a mock and I go Keenan Allen in that round. I thought that he was kind of like in that middle between. That's another thing. You got to really pay attention to the board.
Right.
In Yahoo, they got Waller really
I could go by ADP. We can go by ADP.
Man, they got Waller really low in Yahoo. ESPN, he would have been gone.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken,
Kittle. Waller does work.
I think Kittle was still on there.
A lot of time, I think this is a really good exercise too, because say you're doing fantasy draft or we just always talk about Bengals. I think you could, when this is done, I'm gonna really talk to you about every single player in the National Football League if you want to. But this is how I gauge when anybody thinks that we're homers or whatever. I gauge it off of performance of others.
Facts.
And this is what it is. So the direction
after Swift, just to catch people up, Miles Sanders went off the board, Najee Harris, then Kittle, Allen Robinson, J.K. Dobbins, Terry McLaurin. You had, I think it was Keenan Allen, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Michael Thomas, Chris Carson, Darren Waller just went.
Let me see the tight end. Let me see the tight ends. Is Kittle there?
Kittle's already gone.
Okay, so Kittle's gone. Round 4. So Miles Sanders is gone as well.
Remember, we was having this conversation. I'm
go back to the main screen.
Okay, got 16 seconds left.
Okay, so I don't like Amari. Don't like DJ Moore.
9, 8.
We could do another running back if you want.
6,
let's do
5,
Myles Gaskin.
4.
Because then I'm gonna have a solid running back. I don't want Julio Jones. Chris Godwin has too many wide receivers. Josh Allen, we can get our quarterback in the 6th round. Amari Cooper, too many other targets. Robert Woods, too up and down. He's going to be battling Cooper Kupp every week. DJ Moore, not consistent enough. Josh Jacobs is a guy that I should have been looking at maybe. Chase Edmonds is going to get a lot of volume as well.
That's crazy. Why would Josh Jacobs be that low?
Josh Jacobs is the main dude. I mean,
he's the main guy, yeah.
But see, Gaskins, I'm gonna tell you about Gaskins. Look at his receptions. Like we're in a PPR league. So people probably like, why you get that? Now, what I've done though is with this strategy is I just went running back, right? I'm not gonna come back to running back till later on. And I'm gonna bank a lot of it. Now I'm about to go wide receiver super heavy.
So we got Josh Jacobs coming off. We got Chris Godwin. You talked about wide receivers
on the board. Some of the same guys that was on the board.
So we got Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Amari Cooper, Mark Andrews, T.J. Hockenson, Adam Thielen, Robert Woods, CeeDee Lamb.
This is my 5th round pick.
Kyle Pitts. This is number 5.
Bro, this is so crazy. Yahoo is so different than whatchamacallit. All right, so this is the thing. Normally in ESPN, Lamar Jackson, you better get him in the 6th. We're going to get Lamar Jackson right now because I see the guy that I want in the 6th is going to be there. What we're going to look at in the 6th round is we're either going to take Kyle Pitts or Jamar Chase. If this was ESPN, it would be the exact opposite. You would have to get Jamar Chase or Kyle Pitts right there in the 5th.
We just took Lamar Jackson.
So now we got our quarterback, right? Lamar is the most scoringest person in the fantasy football league. For whatever reason, they put all these other quarterbacks ahead of him, and I don't get it every year. But now our new targets are going to be Kyle Pitts and Jamar Chase. TJ Hawkinson was a guy I could have been looking at, but because we had Swift, I don't draft two guys on the same team. And if I do, it's super rare. It's super rare.
So here's what we got out there. I can cue some up for you. I already queued up Kyle Pitts. You got Mark Andrews, you got Adam Thielen, you got Kareem Hunt, you got Cooper Kupp, you got Tyler Lockett still out there. I felt like I saw
Cue up Deontay,
DJ Moore just got taken.
Cue up Deontay Johnson, Kyle Pitts, and Jamar Chase. I don't care what they got on ranked on here. Those are the guys. Hawkinson, I like him a lot, but god damn, they got him ranked down there.
Yeah, it's average.
101.
I'm sorting by ADP, so average draft position. Is how I got it sorted right now.
Yeah, I can't take Jamar Chase I can't take him that early. If that's the way they treat him on here, we can get him later. In ESPN, I'm gonna tell y'all this: if you're in ESPN fantasy football, you bet if you want Jamar Chase, get him in the 5th. If you wait to the 6th, you might not get him. But because this board looking crazy like this, we're gonna take Kyle Pitts next.
Nice, I like.
We don't want Adam Thielen because he's gonna be battling with Justin Jefferson. I don't do guys like Kyle Pitts with Julio leaving. He's getting all of those targets, and we're going to get him unless this next person gets.
All right, so we can go ahead and take Kyle Pitts. All right, we're taking Kyle Pitts in the 7th round.
All right, so now we got our quarterback. The only difference with ESPN is you might have to switch that around. All right, Gaskins, I had to get a little bit earlier than what I want. The running back that I'm going to be looking at now is Travis Etienne from the Jaguars, or even the other Jaguars running back, James Robinson, who does work as well. I also want to pull up Mostert as well, because that's a guy that's going to be kind of sitting around. I want to see him. This is where you could pick anything you want. You could pick wide receiver. You could do whatever. Because we went running back heavy early on, we're almost forced to get a wide receiver. Because at the end of the draft, we want 3 elite-looking wide receivers.
Kenny Galladay is still out there. Cooper Kupp. Let me see. Odell Beckham Jr. is still out there.
Too slow.
Chase Claypool. Leonard Fournette. Mostert you talked about.
Mostert, yep, give me.
T. Higgins is out there. Juju.
Queue up Debo Samuel. Matter of fact, you could queue up Justin Tucker, Washington's defense, Pittsburgh's defense. Pittsburgh's defense.
All right, we're about to be up on the board.
Go to any position. Go to wide receiver real quick. I just want to see what does Jamar Chase look like on the board, because I think that might be our next target.
All right, we got 27 seconds.
So I think we can get him. We can get Galladay and Jamar Chase, but it's super risky.
So you want to take Galladay?
You think we could do it?
Yeah, we could take him now, because the next time his average draft position is 72. Next time we pick is 77.
This is our 7th round pick. All right, let's do it.
All right, Galladay.
I think we're gonna get Galladay and Jamar. We don't want Claypool because Deontay going to do it. Odell Beckham coming off of ACL, saw his workout look bad. T. Higgins, too many other targets. Juju Smith, I would entertain that. Travis Etienne, that's the running back I'm looking for. All right, let's go to all the positions before this thing comes back around, because we need to kind of.
Yeah, we got all the positions on here. So
okay. All right, so go down the list then. Don't want Fournette, don't want
Washington. You said the cue them, right?
Yeah, give me their defense. I'll take their defense. I'm going to show y'all how to get Washington or Pittsburgh's defense in every mock. You just got to do it 1 round earlier, and you still going to get the back-end depth guys that you want, like the Austin Hoopers of the world, guys like that.
That's crazy, DJ.
You could
Chark out there, too.
But because they drafted, they got too much competition for them. I'm going to tell you, I want the wide receiver for the Dolphins, Devontae Parker. You could queue him up because he'll be around late. We're going to also queue up Matthew Stafford in case we don't get Joe Burrow. Stafford or Burrow are going to be our backup every single time. Lamar Jackson's going to be a starter. If somebody in your draft picks Lamar Jackson before you, then just wait to the 10th round and get Burrow or Stafford. Every mock. Don't go high.
Got some defenses coming off the board here. Justin Herbert just went. Rams defense. Brandon Ayuk just went before Odell Beckham Jr. That's wild. I never thought that I would say that.
We might have to get Monster feature running back. I'm not going to go heavy on. We haven't developed our roster yet to be taking
Right.
to take a defense that early.
Justin
So
Tucker, we still got two just ahead in the queue.
I'll take the Harrison Butker if we have to.
All right.
But go. What does our roster look like though?
Odell Beckham Jr. just got drafted. Lamar Jackson, DeAndre Hopkins, Kenny Galladay.
Odell Beckham Jr. I seen a workout of him the other day. He looked super slow.
On the clock, Ronald Jones is still around. Leonard Fournette, Raheem Mostert,
It
Debo
seems kind of
Samuel.
crazy, bro, but I think it's between Mostert and Debo to me.
Yeah, which one you want?
I'll take Mom. No, give me Mostert because we went and got Galladay and Chase, so we need to do that. We still got
to draft Chase.
Oh. Hold up, where's he at on the list? Chase. Oh, he's down there.
Yeah. He's at 101, but we can take him at 84. We could take him at 84.
So that would be our 8th round. I mean, what pick is that?
That's 9th round.
Okay. We're gonna go Jamar Chase and then Burrow right after that. Defenses, ESPN, like I said, I haven't done Yahoo. I see you got to go a little bit early on defense, but you got to think defense isn't going to be a high priority for me. I don't know the scoring system on this, so depending on your league, maybe. In my league, defenses, the top defenses are more consistent, but at some point in the season, I end up dropping one of them for a week or two, or you might have to shuffle them around. So don't put too much stock into your defense because once you go on a bye week, you're not going to drop a depth guy that you need to go get the defense that you want. You're going to drop the defense that you got and go get somebody else.
Stafford just went.
That's cool. We're gonna get Joe Burrow late. I think.
Burrow.
Yeah, we're gonna get Jamar Chase next. I don't care what they're talking about on here. Look
Justin
at that.
Tucker also just got drafted as well.
But look at this list. T. Higgins, right? Some Bengals fans will say, "Well, he's the number one." I don't think for long. And then what you're going to see is like Jamar Chase is going to get a large amount of target shares just off of his draft pick, and he's going to ascend right before our eyes in the season. So this
Harrison Butker was taken. We're gonna take Jamar Chase.
This is our 9th pick or our 10th pick?
That was 9th round. Next round is gonna be the 10th pick.
Okay, so this is normally an ESPN where you need to go get Joe Burrow. It doesn't look like on Yahoo you have to go get him right there.
Don't forget we also have Lamar Jackson.
Right, but you need a good backup. You need when you look at the end of your draft roster, you want people to say, "How the hell did he get two big time quarterback?" And what'll happen is in the season, when somebody's quarterback isn't performing well, you'll have Joe Burrow in your back pocket or Lamar Jackson in your back pocket that you could trade off and go get a piece. If say our running backs, say Myles Gaskin, who we just drafted, is underperforming, we need to go get a running back. We could throw out Joe Burrow's lighting people up or Lamar Jackson's lighting them up. You don't care. You're like, forget that. I need to get my running back. You throw that out as a trade piece. So you need to get 2 elite quarterbacks because somebody in your league is going to draft a quarterback that's going to underperform or they're going to get hurt. Just happens every year.
Juju goes before Chase Claypool. I just thought about it. I'm like, the reason that the Tampa Bay running backs are still out there because you got a 3-headed monster with Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones, and Gio now.
Right. I don't want nothing.
Butker.
I don't want nothing from Tampa Bay. It's too many people. It's too many guys that can get target share. I know somebody early in here is probably thinking, why the heck did you not take Chris Godwin? Like when I think I took Gaskin at the same time. Godwin with the injury history, as much as I believe in his talent in real life, versus Myles Gaskin, that's not a question. But we're talking about consistent target share. Myles Gaskin.
Defenses have all flown off. T. Higgins just went off the board. Chase Claypool
we just gonna have a trash defense. We're like. Let me see the roster real quick. Oh, my turn is next.
The roster is Lamar Jackson, DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, it's on us.
How many wide receivers do we have? We were gonna have to get we only have 2, so then we need
3, including Chase.
3. All right, so now do we get the backup tight end? Because if I do get the backup tight end, I would get it right now, and I'm going Tanyan.
Tanyan? All right, we'll go with Tanyan.
I feel like Tanyan. There's an argument for Mike Gesicki. There's no argument for Rob Gronkowski. Like, anybody telling you to do that is just silly.
So here's a recap of the roster. We got Lamar Jackson, DeAndre Hopkins, Kenny Galladay.
You ain't got no way to show us the screen. Show us the.
It's over here.
Oh, damn. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Saquon.
Saquon. Hold
Went
on.
got. See, I went Debo.
Actually,
There we.
can.
Oh yeah, you
Here
can
we
go.
go.
Okay,
All right.
so we're looking good. 3
Lamar
positions.
Jackson, DeAndre Hopkins, Kenny Galladay, Saquon Barkley, Deandre
Loaded.
Swift,
Loaded.
Kyle Pitts, Myles
Loaded.
Gaskin, Raheem Mostert,
Loaded.
Jamar Chase, and Robert Tonyan.
So what round we in? We going to pick 11, right?
Yep, round 11.
God, we loaded, bro. We loaded already.
Deebo Samuel is somebody that you queued up from earlier. I know you mentioned some Miami receivers. I think Devontae Parker's still available.
Damn, that sucks.
Jerry Jeudy's still
Let's
out
go
there.
let's get Judy or Curtis
All
Samuel.
right.
Who you want, Judy or Samuel? Let me see the
I
running
go
backs.
with Judy.
Let me see the
I
running
go
backs
with
real
Judy
quick.
because I think he
gonna go.
he
off.
might have more targets.
Him and Cam Sutton are probably some of the most slept on wide receiver tandems like out there. See, these running backs suck.
Garbage.
Sermon, I feel like I think the 49ers drafted him in the 3rd round, super speedy, going to be able. I think later in the season he's going to be good. Michael Carter is a guy for the Jets to look at. If you don't have running backs, we have a couple. We're going to get our running back late. We're going to go get James White later on or something like that. Give me Deebo Samuel.
All right, Deebo Samuel.
After that, we got to get Joe Burrow. We can't play with it anymore.
Oh, damn, we didn't get Joe Burrow. Oh, no.
Hold on. I thought you said, oh, damn, we didn't get Judy. All right. So, look. Hey, Adrian, I see your comment saying you wish we would have joined the league. No, we're just doing a mock. I'm only going to be in one league. I can't do a bunch of leagues. Brandon Cooks is still out there. Tyler Boyd is still out there.
Devonta Smith.
See, now you could. Ooh, Devonta Smith.
He just went.
See, Deebo, if you play fantasy football and you watch Deebo when he came back, he's their number one target, like hands down for the 49ers. And he always makes
he's like a gadget player too, right?
Right. Gadget, number one threat. They're gonna give him runs, they're gonna give him everything in the kitchen sink, and they're gonna throw it at whoever. Deebo is a Swiss Army knife. You know what I was watching Jamar Chase this past weekend? You know who he kind of remind me of? DJ Moore mixed with Deebo Samuel. Like, I don't know if anybody comped him with DJ Moore, but he's got that deep ball like type of presence, but he's got the lower body strength of Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel, if you don't watch the 49ers play, breaks tackles like at an alarming rate. We need to get Joe Burrow though.
Guess which comp I have for Chase.
We ain't gonna get him, bro.
Guess what comp I have for Chase.
We're not gonna get Burrow.
You hear me? Guess which comp I have for Chase.
Who?
Believe it or not, it was Odell Beckham Jr. like coming out of LSU. He reminded me a lot of like when I watch him, he reminds me a lot of Odell like when he was at LSU. And I think he's just at first I used to say he's a less athletic version, but he's actually just as athletic, if not more athletic. So he really reminded me a lot of Odell Beckham Jr. when I first saw him, because I'm like, I've seen something like this before, and I had to go back and I looked at Odell like when he was at LSU, and I was like, that's who he kind of reminds me of.
Bro, we made a mistake on the last pick. The Deebo Samuel pick was a mistake. We should have got Joe Burrow right. We should have got Burrow right there. I don't think we're going to get him.
I think we can get him. We gonna hold out hope. Joey B gonna fall to us.
We need Joe Burrow as a backup quarterback, because in every league, I'm gonna tell y'all this: Joe Burrow, nobody in your league is going to respect Joe Burrow like us, and they're gonna call you a
Tyler Boyd just went.
That's cool. Yes, that's going to get us Joe Burrow. Oh, hold up. Crazy thing is, we could get Judy still if we had to. Judy's super slept on. Judy gonna do work.
Yeah, they tripping with Judy out there. Hold on, is that Jonnu Smith? I forgot he's in New England.
But they got Hunter Henry too, though.
That's true.
All
right, now we're gonna get Joe Burrow, right?
Let's get him. I don't know
Joe
how we
Burrow is coming to the squad.
This roster lit.
Round 12.
I tell y'all.
Jerry Judy's still out there.
If he around, I'll take him or Antonio Brown next. So that's
Antonio Brown, Jarvis Landry out there.
I'll take Antonio Brown or I don't want no Landry, bro. See, like Landry
is good in PPR though. If you doing PPR, if you doing standard, he's only gonna get 4 touchdowns.
Bro, look at our roster right now. Tell me anybody on our squad that would get more targets or more anything than like all them people: DeAndre Hopkins, Galladay, Swift, Pitts, Gaskins, Monster, Jamar Chase, all them people. The only person that will probably even come close to like, see, we needed Monster for depth. So you had to get a running back, and Monsters is just starting running back for the 49ers.
Right, facts.
So Landry
queuing it
to
up.
me is
Judy the next pick if he's there? He is swinging back around. I don't know if he's. I'm still kind of shocked that Judy is out here this late.
I think we got too many wide receivers. I think we got to go get a running back. We already got our backup tight end.
We do have a lot of wide receivers. We only have one running back on the bench.
We got 1, 2. How many wide receivers we got on the bench?
Two of them, Chase and Debo.
We need to get a wide receiver then. Get Judy. Because at the end of this, we need to look at our roster and say, this is your rule of thumb. When you walk out of your draft, you have to have 4 elite wide receivers and the 5th wide receiver. If you go that extra route or extra tight end,
Judy just got taken.
Right. All right, give me Antonio Brown now. Somebody said Antonio Brown might get suspended. Listen, one thing about Antonio Brown is that Tom Brady likes him. When your quarterback likes somebody, it is what it is. Now, he might not get the target share that we were just talking about with Landry, right? The big playability of Antonio Brown, to me, outweighs it. To me, that could go 50-50. That's something we could talk about.
Baker Mayfield's supposed to be an elite quarterback, not according to
fantasy football. Going to tell you everything you need to know. James White.
They taking him after Cam Newton, bro. They're taking him after Jared Goff.
We're going to end this thing with. We're going to end this thing with White, and then we could go Waddle. I'm gonna let y'all.
James White is always gonna give you 10 points a game.
Right. So regardless. Give me James White is gonna be the next pick because we need a backup running back, another backup running back, and then we're gonna go wide receiver, and we'll probably go Waddle to close this bad boy out.
Bet. Let's get it. All right.
Telling y'all, stick with me. If you're in an ESPN league or whatever, you need to be looking at maybe Austin Hooper, somebody like that as he's a starting caliber tight end. Good depth piece. You should be able to leverage him and trade him to somebody some point in the season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
see how we don't have to pick none of these quarterbacks or take any of these questionable quarterbacks. We know what we got in Joe Burrow off the bench. We know that Lamar Jackson led all quarterbacks in fantasy football, and he's always going to be there in the 5th or 6th round of every fantasy football league. And people think at that point you got to still get a wide receiver. No, the wide receiver PPRs are loaded this year, so you don't have to do that. Sorry if y'all hear my dog barking in the background.
You had a cat too, right?
Yeah, Miss Kitty. Where's Kitty at? She was just walking around. I was gonna have my son bring him over. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. Make sure if y'all in the Cincy area, anywhere, if you're in anywhere near Ohio, please go check out our people at Midwest Barbecue. I have this sauce bottle that's halfway empty because I actually eat this sauce on my chicken, on my ribs. I'm about to put a steak on the grill in a second. Midwest Barbecue. Tell them Zim and Ace sent you.
Shout out to Midwest. All right. So now we're going with James White, right?
James White. Oh, is he gone?
No, he's still there.
Damn, he down there though, huh? We ain't going no taste
James
yet.
White, Waddle, Michael Carter is out there. I don't know how you feel about.
I like Michael Carter, bro.
Yeah, he's 10 seconds.
What you think? Let's go, Michael Carter. Forget it. Like let's do it. I mean, James White, I think is a good solid pick. Now we're gonna end this thing with a bang. We're gonna go get Waddle, or we're gonna let me see the wide receivers. Oh, we ain't get no defense or kicker. Hold on.
We could always get one off of waivers.
We about to get one, but then our roster full though. It's not even gonna let us do that, bro.
What are you gonna go with, the Mike Zimmer defense? What's she gonna do? Cleveland?
I'll take that Patriots defense.
Patriots defense.
Patriots ain't never going. Yeah, I'm gonna say they always gonna be solid. Just give me them. Kicker. Let me see the kickers. Damn,
we can't even get a kicker. We're gonna have to sign one in free agency.
We filled up. All right, yeah. The last pick, the Michael Carter. If you're watching this, don't do that. Go get your kicker right then.
Well, honestly, I'm gonna just keep it a bean. Like, if you're not getting Harrison Butker or Justin Tucker,
right?
I mean, you really are gonna probably be scouring the waiver wire anyway, or Young Hoku. That's another dude that you could get, but
who Young Ho?
They're all gone. Yes, sir. Hold on. I think they just somebody took Cleveland, Denver, and New England. All the defense is getting taken.
Yeah, we that last pick should have been defense. So if you're watching this in your Yahoo, your 14th round pick needs to be defense. Write that down. If you
8,
want
7,
Washington,
6,
oh,
5.
give me Minnesota. It doesn't matter.
We got you.
Um,
Zimmer.
yeah, we're going Zimmer. But one thing I just learned from that is that if you're gonna, I don't know how your league is set up, but if defense makes an impact, it does kind of make an impact in our league that I'm in because of consistency. And if that's the case, I have to go one round earlier. On average, most defenses are going to pick round 15. But in this Yahoo one, they were taking Pittsburgh and Washington early. So you probably want to do some more mocks in Yahoo. I'm here to tell you, ESPN, you need to take your defense 12th or 13th round, no later than 14th if you want your defense to make an impact. But I think we just finished the whole thing up. Let's take a look at the list. I would have got Devontae Parker because I feel like he's still gonna be a focal point on the offense. He's still the number one wideout, and he's still there. So Devontae Parker, like if that's gonna be your last pick, I pick him a lot in my mocks. Make sure y'all take a look at him because he's still gonna get the most targets on everybody on their roster. No matter if they draft Waddle, it's gonna take Waddle some time to come into his role.
Facts. All right, so just giving a recap of the team: Lamar Jackson, DeAndre Hopkins, Kenny Galladay, Saquon Barkley, Deandre Swift, Kyle Pitts, Myles Gaskin, Raheem Mostert, Jamar Chase, Robert Tonyan, Deebo Samuel, Joe Burrow, Antonio Brown, Michael Carter. That sounds pretty solid to me.
Solid as hell. And I'm gonna tell you the one thing that this does too by getting Jamar Chase and not reaching on him and letting them fall to us a little bit, it allows you. We might know by week 2, week 3, Jamar Chase is like something special. By that time, now Galladay is now in your flex. So that's the beauty of that mock. If you just go, listen, Lamar Jackson is the fantasy guy you should be going to go get from a quarterback perspective. If you go get Josh Allen or one of them guys, let's say Aaron Rodgers or somebody like a little bit earlier, the impact on your team isn't enough to weigh out the justification of taking a quarterback over the supreme talents that you're going to see like rounds 3 through 5. So that's why I always pick Lamar Jackson at that spot. Sometimes people beat me to the punch, but we always know we got Joe Burrow in our pocket round 10. Joe Burrow, the drop off from Joe Burrow versus, as I'm saying it with a Joe Burrow shirt on, from him and Josh Allen isn't going to be much, if any at all. For all we know, Joe Burrow could be what he was last year, scoring 20, throwing for 280 every week and 2 to 2.5 touchdowns per week. And if that's the case, that's the top of the quarterback leagues. He was at 8th in quarterbacks when he was healthy. So you got to factor in some of these things like that when you're looking at that, because they aren't going to rank them like that. And if you look at a draft score, they'll probably give you a low score. But knowing what we know about Joe Burrow, whatever. The things that I don't like about Higgins and Boyd and guys like that is because Joe Burrow is going to make sure he just gets it to the open target. So for me, for my fantasy team, that can't work unless it's like how Tyler Boyd just was there, where he just fell all the way down. Like, that's the only way you should be looking at guys like that. Jamar Chase, the reason why you need to take Jamar Chase, those are the only 2 Bengals that I take in any draft, in any mock. The only reason why I'm taking Jamar Chase because the upside is so great, it could drastically change your scene. By the time you get to week 3 or 4, if you have, let's say Jamar Chase is doing what we think he's doing as a Bengal fan, right? The person that you drafted, like whether it would have been Galladay, Deontay Johnson, or anybody like that, now that person goes to your flex, or Jamar Chase is in your flex. Now everybody in your league is going to be looking at you like, bro, you got all 3. Like, it's going to happen real fast, and you got to be able to identify those guys. Look at guys like Travis Etienne from Clemson, that's now going to potentially be a starting running back. Look at Raheem Mostert, because he's always going to fall to the 7th or the 8th round or something like that, but he's the starting running back, but they don't want to rank him that high because of his injury history. Deebo Samuel's the same way. When they're healthy, they play. So we did take a little bit of a chance doing that with Mostert, Mostert, Deebo, and Galladay. Those are our 3 guys that we know have an injury-riddled history. But the upside on Galladay is way too high to let me pass by because he's the focal point of the offense. If you go look at the board when I pick Galladay, all those other guys like Adam Thielen and stuff are like now the number 2, number 3 options. Always put yourself in. I don't care how bad the team is. Always put yourself in a position to get the guy that always has to get the ball. Like AJ Green in his prime. Yeah, I used to draft him all the time. He always has to get the ball. Like, and it doesn't change. People will say, well, why'd you say Saquon Barkley over? I don't even know who was on the board. I don't care. Saquon Barkley is different. Yeah, he came off an ACL injury, but he's super different. And when he's out there, he gets all the talk. He gets all the runs. He gets more catches out the backfield, and arguably probably score more than Christian McCaffrey if he plays the whole season. So it is a little bit of a gamble, but I think it worked out. The way I doubled down and make sure I went and got Myles Gaskin a little early. So if you do take a chance on a person that might have a little bit of an injury thing concerning like Galladay or Saquon Barkley, which I don't really question that. I think Barkley gonna come back strong. Come back sooner than later and double down almost. Like maybe don't wait a round or two. Come back and go get that. Another strategy, I'm gonna finish it off with this, is go get 2 elite tight ends early. And sometimes I like to get, like, say I would have picked at the beginning of the round or the back end of the round, get Kittle or Waller like earlier. Like, I don't know how Yahoo set up, but get them like 2nd, 3rd round, right? If you do that, it dries up the tight end market so crazy that guys start reaching on tight ends the rounds right after that. And once they start reaching on that, all the wide receivers that you probably want going to be right after that. So then you could flex Kittle. You see what I'm saying? Like, that looks crazy to flex Kittle. Like, I don't know how everybody's league is set up, but just imagine a team with like Kittle, Kelsey. Like, just hearing that, you'd be like, what? And then, but the reason why you do it is because once you do that, people start to say, oh, shoot, tight ends are coming off the board. So now they might reach on Kyle Pitts. They might reach on Hawkinson. But then the wide receivers are now, like, looking right at you in the face. So now you're going to get a better wide receiver. That's one of my favorite strategies to do, too. But
no, that's facts. That's facts. But thank you guys for listening. Shout out to Midwest Barbecue once again. I'm ready to slam some of that on some of these ribs myself as well. My favorite sauce, they even sent me the mustard sauce as well, the exclusive. So please be sure to check them out. They should be open and back up, I think, some point, the end of this week, whenever you're hearing this. So please be sure to stop in there and let them know Zim and A sent you. And go ahead, Zim. You had something else to say?
Make sure you check out our collaboration. We're doing Joey B collaboration with Where I'm From. It is very important that you guys watch this show and y'all support this stuff that we're doing because it's going to get us lit. We've got 3 big names that I feel like you guys want to hear from scheduled. We're as far as like our players on the team. We're still doing the PFF in-depth schedule. We got a big one on Friday with Sam Monson from PFF, who is the guy at PFF. So we got that going. Ace has got something special. I don't know if you want to tell them about the doctor.
Yeah, we got Pro Football Doc, David Chow, the guy that knows all about injuries. We got him pulling up soon as well.
So all of these different things, the more we get lit with some of these collaborations, this is a Joey B collaboration with Where I'm From, authorized by Joey B himself. A lot of people don't even know this is out here. So make sure you follow our links. Don't just go to Where I'm From. Follow our unique links so that they can see all the people that we're funneling there. Check it out. Even if you don't think that you're going to like it, you might like it for somebody else. Check out the link because there's a lot of dope designs. Facts. That's all I really have. Oh, and watch out for me. I got a whole lot of orange dropping this Friday. Whole lot of orange collection. Burrow Babies Volume 2 going crazy. A lot of people going to get some packages in the mail this week. We're going to go crazy on Friday. We are dropping it. Burrow Baby Season 2. Whole lot of orange.
Zimhuday.com.
Zimhuday.com is going crazy. Printed now in Cincinnati. Sent out in Cincinnati. I went back to the motherland, Cincinnati, and we're going to print it up the right way. Burrow Baby Season 2. Unstoppable.
Make sure y'all grab that.
Unstoppable design.
It's fire.
Shout out to Seth.
Yeah, shout out to Seth for sure. And of course, we'll end this with a yes.
Sirski.
Hello, world. What separated your deep ball from everybody else?
My deep ball, it has a little secret sauce to it, man.
Never get too high, never get too low, but just keep moving.
The whole story is Carlos never beat me in any kind of sports in high school.